Title: Echoes of Guilt. They say you never really know a person until you've seen them with blood on their hands. I used to think that was just something they said in movies. But I learned the hard way. It's true. I'm not a cop. I'm not a detective. Hell, I'm not even someone you'd call brave. I'm just a guy named Marcus, born and raised in a sleepy little town in upstate New York. The kind of place where folks leave their doors unlocked at night, and everyone waves when they pass you on the street. But one night shattered all that. One night pulled the rug out from under our peaceful lives, and we've been stumbling ever since. It started with a scream. Just after midnight, I was on my porch, finishing off a warm beer, when it cut through the silence like a blade. Not the kind of scream you hear from a drunk teenager goofing off either. This one had weight to it. Fear. Panic. The kind that freezes your blood. I ran toward the sound, through Mrs. Duval's hedges and across the alley behind Pete's Hardware. That's when I saw the body. Lying there in the alley was Dana Caldwell. Blonde, 17, the mayor's daughter. Face down in a puddle of red. Dead. There were already two kids standing there. One was Ethan, Dana's ex. The other Kelly, her best friend. Both looked like ghosts. Ethan was shaking. Kelly was crying into her hands. Neither of them made eye contact. I called 911, told them what I saw, where we were. It felt like I was floating, like I was outside my body. Within minutes, red and blue lights painted the walls, and the alley turned into a crime scene. The town lost its mind. See, Dana wasn't just another teenager. She was the golden girl. Cheer captain, straight A student, volunteering at every bake sale, every blood drive. You kill someone like Dana, you don't just commit a murder. You commit treason against the town itself. The cops brought Ethan in first. Made sense. He and Dana had broken up a month ago, and everyone knew it wasn't mutual. Rumor was he'd been texting her non-stop, begging for another chance. He had a temper too. Played football, got benched for punching a guy in the locker room last season. The whole town was ready to hang him. But the next day, they let him go. No evidence, no weapon, nothing that put the knife in his hand. That's when people started whispering about Kelly. Some said jealousy. Said Dana had been hanging out with a new group, and Kelly felt abandoned. But Kelly didn't fit the image of a killer. She was soft-spoken, always nervous, always trailing behind Dana like a shadow. Still, police brought her in for questioning. She stayed overnight, and then they let her go, too. Weeks passed. No arrests, no leads. Dana was buried in a white coffin, and the whole town showed up in black. Her father, Mayor Caldwell, spoke at the funeral. His voice never cracked. He said, "Justice will be done. We will find whoever did this to my little girl." But justice was nowhere in sight. That's when I started digging. I'm not proud of it. I didn't do it for Dana. I didn't even do it for her family. I did it because something felt wrong, and I couldn't let it go. I wasn't sleeping. I was having dreams. Vivid, unsettling dreams where Dana would just be standing there, covered in blood, pointing at me. So I started asking questions. I started with Ethan. Tracked him down at his uncle's auto shop. Told him I just wanted to understand what happened that night. He was defensive at first, arms crossed, jaw clenched. "You think I killed her?" he said. "I don't know what to think." He looked away. Said Dana had changed the last few months. Said she'd been lying about where she was going, that she started taking long drives at night. One time, he followed her. said she drove 2 towns over and sat in her car for over an hour, just staring at the window of some old, run-down diner. Who was she meeting? I don't know. She never went inside, just waited, then drove home, like it was some kind of ritual. Next, I went to Kelly, found her at the community library. I told her what Ethan said. Her eyes widened. She told me she had a secret, Kelly whispered. Said it would change everything. Said she couldn't tell me, not yet. But she was scared. I thought she was just being dramatic. Did she mention the diner? Kelly nodded slowly. I followed her once too. She wasn't alone. There was a man, older, maybe mid-30s, wore a black hoodie. She got in his car. Everything about this made my skin crawl. Who the hell was this guy? I went to the diner. It was shut down, boarded up. I circled around the back. There was a basement entrance, rusted and locked. But the lock looked new. I picked up a rock and smashed the window on the side door. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, but I had to know. The inside was dusty and cold. Smelled like mildew and rot. But there were signs someone had been using it recently. A chair in the corner, cigarette butts, a half-eaten sandwich, still fresh. Someone was living there. I crept down the stairs into the basement. My flashlight flickered. Then I saw it, a wall covered in photographs. Dana, Kelly, Ethan, others. All pinned up like a sick collage. Red string connected their faces. In the center was a picture of Dana. Her eyes were scratched out. I stumbled back. That's when I heard footsteps upstairs. I panicked, hid under the stairs, barely breathing. The door creaked open. Heavy boots thudded down. I saw the shadow of a man, tall, broad shoulders. He stood in front of the photo wall for a moment. Then he tore Dana's picture down. I wanted to scream, but I stayed still. The man turned and walked back up. The door slammed shut. I waited another 10 minutes before I moved. That night, I went straight to the police. I told them everything. The diner, the wall, the man. But when they checked it out, the wall was gone. Photos, string, vanished. No sign anyone had ever been there. And just like that, I became the town lunatic. People started looking at me funny, whispering. Even my boss asked if I needed some time off. But I wasn't crazy. I knew what I saw. And more importantly, I knew I wasn't the only one being watched. Because the next morning, there was a note on my windshield. It said, "Stop digging, or you'll be next." And that's when everything really started to fall apart. To be continued in part 2.